All right, all right. What's happening, family? Maggie DeShazer, see you in the house. Good to see you. Uh, y'all are gonna see Kemetic Center living in the room. That's actually Voice Shade that's gonna be typing in there, but hey, she represents both of us, so it's all good. But that's who it'll be. So she's behind the scenes here with me tonight. So we'll be getting going here in a bit. So good to see you, family. Good to see you. Everybody's in the house tonight. In the house tonight. I can feel it. Oh, that's coming in the air tonight. Never mind. Anyway, it's gonna be a good night. It's gonna be a good night. Yes, it will. Yes, it will. All right. I'm looking for my intro stuff here. All right, all right, all right. All right. So that's Voice Shay saying, "What's up, KCL family? What's going on? What's going on?" So yeah, Queen of Destiny is in the house. What's up, Queen of Destiny? What's up? What's up? Good to see you. Good to see you. Make sure everybody can hear me tonight. I'm assuming that y'all can. I'm assuming that y'all can hear me. But yeah. What's up, Ruben? What's up, D Brooks? What's going on? Ruben got fam in the house. What's happening? Good to see you. Good to see you. So what's happening? Yeah, we're going to have a little bit of a discussion tonight. What's up, Adrienne? Good to see you. Family's in the house. That's the AMR family. African Mind Rewire family is large and in charge. We are here. We are gods and goddesses in training. That's who we are. That's what we do. So Michael Wilkerson from Chicago. What's up? What's up? Anisha Brown, what's going on? How are you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. So Leisha Jones, hello. Hotep. PN Dub, what's going on? PN Dub's in the house. The Dark Goddess is here. She is here. What's going on, Dark Goddess? Good to see you. All right. Cannabis Maximus. Man, that's got to be one of my favorite names. Cannabis Maximus. I like that name. Liza, what's going on, girl? What you doing up in here? Good to see you. Fam is in the house. Me and Liza been friends from way back. It's good to see. That girl can sing. Y'all, she can sing. Ooh. I didn't say sing. That girl can sing. Woo. Lord have mercy. Yes, she can. But yeah. Let's see. Y'all need to check her out sometimes. But good to see y'all. Good to see y'all. All right, guys. So we're going to get rolling here tonight. So what I want to do is I wanted to speak to something that's been stuff kind of gripes me sometimes because of the way that people will teach stuff and call it Kemetic science or Kemetic spirituality. And this idea, and a lot of times, and I've said this before, people will switch to what they call Kemetic spirituality, but all it is just another form of religion. They change from religion to Kemetic spirituality, but do the same things, teach the same stuff as religion, think the same way as religion, and then calling it Kemetic spirituality. If you're doing the same thing you were doing before you switched to Kemetic spirituality to when you switch to it, you haven't changed. Nothing's changed, guys. Nothing at all. So Kemetic spirituality is different. It's something totally and completely different. And I do know that Christianity, and I understand that Christianity is a descendant, in a sense, of Kemetic spirituality, because everything that they got, everything that is Christian came from Kemetic spirituality. Plain and simple. Everything. And there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So it's all Kemetic spirituality. but they twisted it. They changed these ideas into something that became tools of control and tools of fear. Okay. And that's not what Kemetic spirituality is about. So one of the things and this thing that I'm talking about is people will ask, well, what did our ancestors worship before religion? Even the question itself, what did they worship, has a religious bias, because they assume that worship, that what our ancestors did is the same thing that we do and did as Christians. And if you truly grasp Kemetic spirituality, you'll understand that it's nothing like Christianity. It is not another religion. Okay? And Cannabis Maximus gave 1111. Thank you. Said positive and healing vibrations to everyone. Okay? So it is not another religion. Kemetic spirituality is not that. Don't, if you're somebody that's teaching this stuff, don't be lazy. Don't be lazy, not study, and teach the same stuff you taught as a Christian and just put a Kemetic cover on top of it. Just call it Kemetic, because it's not. Okay? So this is the idea. So worship. What does worship mean? Okay? So, and I just looked this up in a dictionary, and you guys can do this too. Look it up online. Look it up on Google. So worship is defined as the feeling or expression of reverence and adoration for a deity. Okay? In other words, oh God, you're just so great and wonderful. You know, I'm so glad that you did whatever for me. Oh God. Okay? So Kemetic science is different from that because they are true monotheist. They were true monotheist. Okay. And this is, I'm gonna pop this up on the screen here and show you to read this. And this is just research, guys. But this is what the Kemetic spirituality or what it's about when they talk about monotheism. So Egypt was monotheist, and Egypt and Kemet was the same, just in case anybody's wondering about that. Kemet is just an older, like the grandmother of Egypt, basically. So where all of this started from. So the study of the text show, in fact, that since the ancient empire, there is a difference in an affirmation of faith in one and only one God. So Egypt believed in only one God, but they practiced this, which was different from Christianity, or is different from Christianity. This God is eternal and nameless. The netter of netters is what they called it. Boundless and incomprehensible, basically incomprehensible by the human mind. Parallel to this vision, there exists a pantheon composed of considerable number of netters or principles. Okay. So when they're talking about netters, they're talking about functions of nature. Okay. Not little bitty God people. Okay. That was a misinterpretation of netters. So netters are a function. They are how nature functions. So when you hear a netter, then the way that you can connect and understand what the Bible is teaching and how they got it from Kemetic science is when you understand the function that they're trying to express, even in the Bible. So the ancient function of the netter, they just rename it in the Bible. Okay. So that's what we're talking about here. So they believed in one God, and they taught that everything came from that source. That's different than Christianity. Now, I know what Christianity says. I know Christianity says there's only one God. Okay. And God created us. That's what they say. But somehow Christianity has a disconnect, because what Christianity teaches is that God created us, but somehow he created something different. We as people are something different, or human beings, the earth, the animals. It's something different and separate from the creator. Okay? That's different. That's different from the original teachings. Now understand this. Christianity says that it's the same, but if you think about how it is taught, because if we are truly the same as God and we are one with God, because they'll say the same language. If we are the same and we are one with God, how did we get sent to hell? Why would God send an aspect of itself to eternal damnation if we are the same as it? So that's one thing. One thing that Christianity is different from Kemetic spirituality. It's different. That's not the same. So Kemetic spirituality is the true monotheism. It's the true monotheism. Okay? And Zuri Akura Lauren, that's family right there. She gave $9.99. Thank you, Zuri. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Excuse me, guys. So true Kemetic spirituality is about monotheism. And this is the difference. And this is what Kemetic spirituality taught. They taught the idea of anthropocosmos. Okay? That's a big word, but I'm going to break it down. Anthropocosmos simply means this: mankind or humankind is the universe. Okay? Humankind, anthropocosmos says that humankind is the universe. Not only is it the universe, okay? Let me put that up here. So this is the definition. So anthropocosmos says man is the universe. Man is not the partial component, but the final product, the ultimate product. He is not a part of the all, but rather the all in its living expression. That's different right there than Christianity. In other words, Christianity says we're somehow different, and God can send its different part to hell. But Kemetic spirituality says that we are the living expression of the all. We are the living expression of God. Okay? We're not different. We are the ultimate expression on this plane of existence. Humankind is the ultimate expression of God. And not only that, what we see as the universe outside of us is a reflection from within us. The universe, the stars, the planets, everything that we see is actually an individualized component of the essence of who we are. This is why astrology works so well. This is why you can get a birth chart reading and it means something to you, because these planets and stars are a representation of us. Okay? These planets and stars are a representation of the essence of who we are. They're not out there. They are reflecting what's in here. Okay? The laws that work in us are the same laws that work in the universe. There's no difference. So when we're talking about this, and I'm going back to the idea of who did our ancestors worship? If you have this perspective that we are the ultimate form of God in this plane of existence, we are the ultimate form of the universe in this existence, then why would we worship that which is outside of us when in reality it is what's in us? Okay, it is us being reflected back. Why would we reflect, or why would we worship our essence? Because remember, worshiping something, a deity or something outside of ourselves, we have reverence for it. That's what worship is. Okay, when we have reverence and adoration for something outside of ourselves. Why would we have adoration for that which is outside of us and worship it? The ancients didn't see it that way. So they did not worship. Okay, And raw listeners, thank you for that $9.99. They did not worship something outside themselves. That is a religious notion. They understood that the universe, the stars, the planets, the moon, everything that we see outside of us is us from within. It's a reflection. It's the essence of who we are. Okay? So I get sick and tired of hearing people that are saying they're talking about Kemetic spirituality or passing around memes that are not correct. They are not right. All they are is rehashing, all they're doing is rehashing religion. Kemetic spirituality is not a religion. It's different completely. All the concepts, that's why I can talk about the concepts of Jesus and the concepts of Christ. I can talk about those concepts, but when you talk about them from a Kemetic spiritual stance and a Kemetic spiritual science, they are a different and more empowering concept. Okay? So I'm going to ask, guys, if you're passing around memes that are nothing but religion in another form, or religion disguised as Kemetic spirituality, please stop. Don't do it. If you're teaching people something called Kemetic spirituality and is nothing but another form of religion, please stop. Because you're killing our people. You're keeping them trapped in the same bull crap that religion is doing. You're keeping them in the same mindset. I don't know how many people that I hear that were Christian that are now supposedly in Kemetic spirituality. They hate the same people that they hated as Christian now that they're Kemetic spiritualists, so to speak. The LGBT community. People just, hate on the LGBT community. And I'll tell you here right now, within Kemetic spirituality, if you're a part of the LGBT community, the LGBTQ community, you're welcome here. Because you are an extension of God as well. Don't hate other people because you think that they were made from a different God than the one that you worship. Stop the bullshit. Plain and simple. Stop the bull. Stop it. Oh, y'all know my potty mouth had to come out sometime. I can't stop it. I can't stop it. It just flows. Oh, but yeah, but so that's what I'm saying, guys. Our ancestors did not worship because they knew what we are. They knew who they were. Yes, D. Brooks, Kemetic spirituality is a path to knowing thyself. Absolutely, positively. Absolutely, positively. And we cannot keep dressing up religion because you can't put lipstick on a pig. I'm sorry. And make it look better and smell better. That's some Texas stuff there. I'm a city boy, but I know that stuff. You cannot put lipstick on a pig and make it better. You just can't. And if you're calling yourself Kemetic and all you're doing is rehashing religion, you're not Kemetic. If you're living the same way you did last month, you're thinking the same way you did last month, doing the same things you did last month, you have not changed. You have not changed from religion. You're still religious. Robert Johnson, thank you, brother. I appreciate you. That's family there. Family again. Gave $9.99. You are not practicing Kemetic spirituality if all you're doing is the same exact thing that you did when you were Christian. If you're still praying the same way as you did when you were Christian, you're not practicing Kemetic spirituality. Because if you understood prayer from the Kemetic spiritual perspective, your life would be changed in a heartbeat. I promise you. It will be changed in a heartbeat. Okay? There's no way that you are going to take and learn the Kemetic paradigm of prayer and not have your life change for the positive forever. Okay? There's no way. It just won't happen. Okay? It just won't happen. So if you are interested in learning the ancient Kemetic paradigm of prayer, I just put up on the screen there, who do I pray to now.com. That's a free video download, or a free video you can watch and get access to it. Okay, it's not a download, but you can get access to it. But it teaches you the Kemetic paradigm of prayer. It is life-changing. And I'm telling you guys, when I was going through my stuff, and I talk about this story all the time, is how I had lost everything I had. I did it twice, lost everything I had. But it was a learning experience for me. It was teaching me how to use these principles. I was depressed. There were times I was suicidal. I didn't want to live because I was so depressed and so down. Because as a man, and tell me, guys, if this is not the case for you, as men, a lot of times we are measured by the stuff that we can accumulate. We are measured by our worldly possessions. Okay. And don't get me wrong, I like worldly possessions. I like nice stuff. So I'm not speaking against that. Again, this is not another form of Christianity. I like nice stuff. But nice stuff doesn't own me. Okay? Nice stuff is not necessarily my motivation for living. Okay? Michael Peaks, thank you very much, says the spirit religion bullshit, I see it and hear it daily. I know. Shaking my head, absolutely. But when I lost it all, at that point, I still struggle with that idea that who I was what I had. When I lost it all, it was like, who was I? What was I? Was I a man now? Who's going to love me? No woman wants to be with a broke man. And again, since I'm not making that into a idea like sisters only want guys for money, because that's not the case. I mean, I've never dealt with a woman that was just interested in money. That's just never something I've experienced. So every woman I've dealt with has been a good woman. Doesn't mean that we were good for each other, but things worked out a different way. Okay, but I went through that. I went through that depression. I went through those thoughts of suicide. And the only way I came out of it was to understand these principles. If I was Christian, I'm telling you right now, if I had to remain Christian, I would be dead or in jail right now. That's where I would be. Because I would kill an MF and ask God to forgive me. That's the truth. I would get so mad about stuff. I was angry, bitter, all that stuff. But learning these ideas changed me. It made me better. It made my life better. Plain and simple. If you're depressed and you're going through it and you're saying, oh, well, I'll get this when I'll start working on this when I feel better, you just missed the boat, because you're not going to feel better. Not until you practice these principles. You might not know you're practicing them, but in order to feel better, you got to practice them. I'm telling you right now. But the thing is you get tools, okay? You get processes that you can master. All right? That's what it is, what it's about, really. You get tools and processes that you can master, and make life better for you. Okay? That's what it's about. So don't start talking about the ancestors worshipped and all of this stuff. They didn't do that. They knew how powerful they were. Plain and simple. They knew how powerful they were. Okay? So that was my little rant. Uh, I again, I see this stuff being passed around. I see people talking about that they're teaching Kemetic spirituality, and it's just a bastardization of Christianity. Is all it is. If you're getting the same knowledge and the same ideas presented to you, and they feel just like Christianity, you're not practicing Kemetic spirituality. Dog 43, thank you, Cynthia. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Gave $20. Thank you very much. That's that AMR family again, African Mind Rewire family. You guys are so generous. But I know you're being generous because there is something that you are practicing. You are practicing priming the pump. I get that. And I appreciate that you choose me to practice that with. Okay. When my American mind or African mind rewire family, when they give, they're priming the pump. It's really for them. They're helping me, but it's really about them. But because of the way that Kemetic spirituality works, you understand that you do the things to uplift you, but it automatically helps other people too. You take care of you, then you can take care of others, not the other way around. See, Christianity will teach you something like love thy neighbor as thyself. And they try to practice it like that. Oh, I'm going to love my neighbor. My neighbor, I got to take care of my neighbor. I got to sacrifice to do this for my family, do it, blah, blah, blah. But it's backwards. It should be flipped. You should love yourself and then love your neighbor. Take care of you, then you can take care of your neighbor. Chelsea Lewis asks, is it too late to join? No, it's not too late to join. So you can go to AfricanMindRewire.com. I thought I had that up here. Let me do that here right quick. Let's see, www.African. Oops, I can't spell AfricanMindRewire.com. Okay. So this is so AfricanMindRewire.com. So you can go there and you can look at the information and sign up if you so desire. Okay. But I'm telling you now, if you're getting these people that are basically rehashing religious notions, don't fall for the okie doke. They don't know squat. I replaced that word. I was going to say manure, but but they don't know anything. They're cheating y'all. That's what they're doing. They're playing on you, preying on you. Prey. Oh man. Oh, I'm killing myself. But anyway, but that's it. So questions, if you got questions, let's do some questions and we can do that. Explain the upheaval caused by Akhenaten when he declared that there was one God and he was murdered for it. Trail Treasy, I've heard about that, but that's not something that I stuck because it's more necessarily about the historical aspect. So that's not something that I've really gotten into. I have read that that's one of the reasons why he was dethroned was because he wanted to go back because basically the Egyptian priests and everybody then, it was starting to become more like a religion and they were preying on people, literally. Or they were using the spiritual aspect to prey on people, to extort them in a sense, get money from them, and he took it back. So that's what I know about it. So any more detail than that, I'm not really that more detail. So what is a rewired mind? So African mind rewire, a rewired mind is one that you rewire yourself from the negative programming of religion. Because that's what's happened with us, is that as a people, and I'm talking specifically to Black people right now. So this is for anybody, all people, and I'll say that again. This is for all people. So I don't care if you Black, green, brown, whatever. If this is something that you want to study, you're welcome here. Okay, but know that you come here to learn and not to dictate. Just understand that. But Christianity has taught us to basically hate ourselves, and even the idea of original sin, that we're born sinners. Okay, that we're born apart from God. Basically, is essentially what a sinner is. Again, that goes away from monotheism, because within Kemetic spirituality, you're born divine. Okay, you are the ultimate expression of God in human form. That's what you are. Okay. So I know we hear about the image, the reflection, and stuff. No, you are the creator in human form. Okay. If the creator is an ocean, then you are a drop in that ocean. There is no difference between the drop and the ocean. It can't be, or it wouldn't be the ocean. Okay. So the idea that we are somehow born a sinner or a wretch or all of this stuff, that's Christian thinking. Falling short of the glory of God, all this kind of stuff, that's Christian thinking. It's negative mantras, it's negative affirmations telling you what you are not. And you are beautifully human. That's how the ancients looked at it. Okay? It's not. Christianity puts you at odds with being human and spiritual. It was never supposed to be that. Spiritual, the physical or matter and spirituality are just different levels of vibration. That's all they are. They're the same thing. But if you put it on a spectrum, there's just different levels of vibration. That's all it is. But it's not different. Nothing different. Just a different frequency. Okay? That's what we are. So let's see. I'm going to have to rewind this. I need this message. I love your work. Thank you. Thank you, Scorpio Tigers Tarot. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. The cat-eyed oracle. Okay, thank you. Okay, I don't know what that means. I'm sensitive about my eyes. Y'all better watch that. I hurt somebody. But anyway. But yeah. So that's the thing, guys. So it's don't essentially be Christian and then dress it as comedic. It's just not that. It's just not that. That's a lie. Okay. Queen of Destiny gave $5, says you are the bomb, Reg. Thanks for helping me change my life. Thank you, Queen of Destiny. So that's family again right there. She's AMR. So thank you again. I appreciate you. So so Empress Queen says, in a roundabout way, the Bible really tells you this. Empress Queen, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. It's actually written in the Bible because it says that God made us in his image. Okay. So that's what it said. But what is taught is not that. There's a lot of doctrines that became a part of Christianity that are taught that are not really biblical. You know? But they need ways to control you. And as far as Black people are concerned, you can look around anywhere in the world and in our neighborhoods, they are in shambles. But you'll find churches on every freaking corner. More churches than people seem like. I mean, it's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. Let's see. Must you know the Bible symbols to use it esoterically or can it be used for affirmations based on your personal interpretation, not Christian based? Let's see. Detrea, thank you for asking that. That's a good question. Now, this is my question. If you don't know the esoteric language, how do you not put things in your Christian frame? Okay. In other words, a frame is going to make you focus on something a certain way. But if all you have is the Christian frame, how do you focus on something different? So you have to learn the different frame first. You have to understand the esoteric language first. And we talk about that in the African Mind Rewire. We talk about that. Okay. You have to learn that frame first in order to reorient your thinking, because this is a whole different way of thinking. Okay. So let's see. Yeah. So the prayer video. Thank you, Voice for putting that up there. So you can't have your same frame of reference, look at the Bible and see something different. It's just not possible. So you have to learn the esoteric language, and it's just a few things that really make a big difference. The idea of death. In the Bible, we think it's about a physical death, but it's not about a physical death. The idea of Jesus and Christ, we think those are about historical people. They're not. They are about functions that are part of each of us as human beings that have been personified. That's what they are. Okay. So Lady Day Supreme gave $19.99. Thank you, Lady Day Supreme. I appreciate that. Okay. So yeah. So you really have to learn the esoteric meaning of a lot of these scriptures. In the prayer video that I teach you, I actually take a Bible scripture and a Bible story that all of us know. We all know the story of Isaac, Jacob, and Esau. Okay. And Esau and Isaac supposedly stealing Esau's birthright. If you look at it from the exoteric perspective that we were taught, Isaac stealing Esau's birthright is a terrible thing, and we look at Isaac as a bad guy. But when you look at it from an esoteric perspective and understand the story is actually explaining universal laws and how to apply them in your life, it's totally different. It's empowering. Okay. So that's what I break down in that video. I break down how you pray from the ancient Kemetic perspective. It has nothing to do with how we were taught. Prayers of supplication, or let me put it another way, prayers of begging God to do for you. That's what a prayer of supplication is. Oh God, please help me. Okay. I promise if you take care of this, I won't masturbate anymore. That's what we got to do. Oh God, just please, oh God, if you can deliver this woman for me, I'll do for you all I can. That's how us men think. Oh man. But that's it. So prayer from a Kemetic perspective, it is a different paradigm. All of this stuff is a different paradigm. I'm telling you now, it's different than religion. It's not religion. It's not religion. I'm going to keep saying that. Kemetic spirituality is not religion. And if all you're doing is practicing the same stuff you practiced when you were religious and brought it to Kemetic spirituality, you're not spiritual. You're still religious. Hating the same people when you were religious as you do as now that you're Kemetic, you're hating those same people. You're still religious, because you can't hate another aspect of God if you are a comedic, if you really truly practice comedic spirituality. You cannot hate another human being. Not, and it doesn't come from, oh, you just shouldn't do that. No, when you practice it, you understand that they are just as much a part of creation and a part of God as you are. And you allow them to be who they are. It's not religion. Because religion, if you really think about it, religion says God loves everybody except the ones that other guy created over there, because they're different from the one that he created, because you're supposed to hate them. That's really what it is. White people can hate black people. Black people can hate white people. I mean, it's crazy. Christians can hate other people that are not Christian. If you are truly a believer that God created everybody and everybody is valid in their expression of the creator, you can allow them to be. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like what they do. Not at all. But you can respect who they are because their expression of whatever they want to do with their life is valid. Love is the key. Absolutely. And tolerance. Because, boy, we have Christian people that can be so intolerant, have comedic people that can be intolerant. Yes, Robert Johnson, I agree. Christianity teaches you to hate yourself. It really does. Right out the box, you are a born sinner. The concept of total depravity. Y'all look this stuff up. Look up total depravity and look up original sin and see what that says. These are doctrines from Christianity. They are the foundational doctrines. But this is the thing you got to understand. Without those doctrines, there's no need for Jesus. So they had to institute these doctrines in order to sell you on the idea that you need a savior to save you from your sin. Okay? One goes with the other. But if you don't analyze this stuff, then you accept on faith somebody else's version of spirituality, because that's what Christianity is. When you believe, you're accepting somebody else's version of spirituality. That's all that's happening. Brianna Phillips asked the question, was Jesus not a real person? No. Jesus never existed. They crowned Jesus the Son of God 300 years after his supposed life. At the Council of Nicaea in 324 or 325 CE. And I know plenty of people will be Christians are like, oh, he's crazy. We got all kinds of evidence. Take away the Bible, and Jesus as a human being disappears. But I don't even like to even get into all of that. There's a deeper meaning for Jesus that is comedic. There's a deeper meaning for Christ that is applicable to you and your life that is comedic. The Jesus or the Christian version of Jesus Christ, okay, and it's not, Christ is not a last name. The comedic version of Jesus Christ is simply meant to trap you mentally and spiritually. Because you got to believe that you're helpless and that only a savior can come in and swoop down and fight your battles for you or take care of whatever you need to take care of. Okay? God is going to save you. God in human form. Now think about this. God sent himself down, killed himself to save you from himself. That's the analysis of Jesus dying on the cross. But I'm telling you again, there is even the idea of Jesus dying on the cross has nothing to do with one human being that did something special. In reality, you are the cross. You as a soul in human form. The cross had a deeper esoteric meaning. So these people that again are expressing Christian ideas as Kemetic, they're doing a disservice. And I can back up what I'm saying. I'll bet you damn well that they can't. Don't know how to. If you watch any of my videos, I give you references. I give you books because I want you to have the ability to check me and check anybody else that's teaching you the bull crap. I'm not asking you to believe what I tell you. Now, I can help shortcut some things for you for sure. I can help shortcut your study time by leading you to these references and sources. But don't just take my word for it. If you have doubts, please go check the references and find more of your own if you can. I'm begging you to. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking here. Man, I've been like going woo wee. So appreciation for the knowledge and hit that thumbs up. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, Rob the Creator. All right, all right. It's my moderator. All right. Let's see. Something similar to that in terms of the chakras. Yeah, and all of that stuff, man. It's all of that stuff is Kemetic. So there, all of that is thank you, MJ34. I missed that. That was too quick. Thank you very much. Yeah, because thank you, Brother Reginald, for helping us change our mindset. You're most welcome. You're most welcome. All right, MJ34, appreciate you. But yeah, all of that stuff, that everything that we think is historical or that is a place like Mount Sinai, all of this stuff has esoteric meaning that is applicable to us as individuals, not as one special human being that God showed favor to, named Jesus. All of these principles, all of these things apply to us. All of them. So yeah. Let's see. Okay, I'm going down here. Questions. Empress Queen says she had asked it to wow, that's a good one. So what is the most effective way to reprogram the subconscious mind? Ryan Owens, that is a great question. And it'll probably be a little bit deep for me to get into here, but that is something that we actually go over in African Mind Rewire. So there's a lot to it, but there are simple tools that I teach and that you can do, and it's from a more informed perspective about these ideas that can help you do that for sure. Let's see, was the Buddha a real person? I always find it interesting that the Buddha is represented as a black man, but I don't know. I don't know enough about that, and I haven't studied Buddhism to know. But y'all know those little swirls on the top of his head that they show? Y'all know that means nappy hair, right? That's what that represents. Is nappy hair. So Buddha was a black man, but Buddha is actually a descendant of African spirituality, Okay, maybe not Kemetic, because even Kemetic spirituality, most of the stuff that became part of Kemetic was also a part of interior Africa. Okay, so it wasn't like Kemetic spirituality was the only source of this knowledge. It's not. It became the mouthpiece because they left a lot of it in stone. But these were concepts that were taught and believed all over Africa by all Africans. And when people left Africa, which was the cradle of humanity, and went to other places, they took these ideas with them. Names and stuff were changed linguistically, but a lot of the concepts are the same. You can even look etymologically at some of these names, and you will see that you can trace them back to their African origin. Like the letter Ptah is connected to Buddha, Pita, Buddha. Okay, just a different pronunciation, but they're very close. Okay, so stuff like that you can trace it back. See, how long does it take for the spirit to leave the body after physical death? Carlo, I have no idea on that one. I don't know. Sometimes I do know that if it's something traumatic that's about to happen, the soul can actually leave the body before it. So I've heard that before. Okay. Let's see here. But that was a good question. Can you explain how Jesus does not exist, and why do people speak in tongues when calling his name? That's because they've been taught to. So a lot of times, I put that back up, Voice, that question. I wanted to see who that was from. No, the last one. So you can trace, and that was grateful and blessed. So basically, if you understand what I was saying earlier, okay, Voice Shada, that's cool. Thank you. You understand earlier, I was talking about how you can connect the ancient Kemetic teachings to the Bible. And there's a couple of ways you can do it. You can do it through understanding the mythology, because if you can actually see some of the mythological characters in scriptures in the Bible. They're hidden. If you look up Luke, let's see, Luke, man, I forget what the chapter is, but it's in the story of Lazarus, and they talk about Lazarus and his two sisters, Martha and Mary. Well, if you understand linguistics, Martha and Mary are cognates of the Egyptian word Mary, Meri. Okay, but the Mr are the two operative letters, I guess, two consonants. But Martha, any name that has Mr that's feminine, that's a female, is connected to the ancient Kemetic letters. Martha and Mary are actually Isis and Nephthys. Okay, Lazarus is actually Osiris. All right, and if you understand the function of Jesus, you'll understand that Jesus is Horus. Okay. But the only way you know that is if you understand that these were teaching functions and not people. The people were just personifying the functions. So you can trace it all back. So that's one way that I know. Okay. And then there's many other people that have taught and questioned the idea of Jesus. But once you get into the Kemetic spirituality, you know that Jesus didn't exist. But that doesn't mean that there isn't power in the ideas that were believed, because I think when a lot of Christians, what happens is when you say that Jesus did not exist, they think that you're saying the experiences that I was taught to call Jesus, okay, or the experiences that I was taught to name Jesus also disappear. In other words, Jesus ain't real. That means you crazy. Your experiences aren't real either. But that's not what I'm saying. You have been taught a frame as a Christian to think of everything in terms of the only way you can experience this stuff is if you believe in Jesus and that Jesus is real. Jesus is your savior. but you've been given a frame in which to experience your spirituality within. Okay. So that's again, that's another way. But there's a lot of information. If you look at, again, if you're looking at my videos on my channel, I actually go through and I break down a lot of this stuff in different videos. Okay. So and I give you references and I give you sources as well. Okay. So it's not just me giving you my opinion about it. Let's see. What are your thoughts on food and spirituality? Um Food is good. Spirituality is good. I like them. I know. Who is that? That's Cass Wellness 2406 online. I don't know what you're getting at there. So I like to eat. I like food. Now people go around talking about being vegetarian and vegan, and it's interesting to me because it's like, again, they all of a sudden feel like there is something outside themselves that has the power to heal and do everything for them. So the same way that they believed about God as being all powerful, all of a sudden food is, there are some foods that's God and some foods that's the devil. You know, meat, devil; vegetables, God. Good. Okay. Well, I like it all. So I like vegetarian dishes. I eat vegetarian. My lady is vegetarian, and we find some tasty food to eat. I love it. But I like a good steak every now and then too. I enjoy a hamburger. I like pizza with pepperoni on it. I like to enjoy. I consider myself a foodie. Now, does that work for everybody? No, but I don't worry about it. I'm not living for everybody. I live my life. So on my terms. That's the way I do that. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Yes. Let's see. Put off. Would you be put off? I don't even understand that. Let's see. I'm looking. I'm looking for some questions here, guys. Looking for some questions. Let's see. Buried or cremation? For me, I say cremate me and save that money for something. Go have a party. And I told my daughter this: when I go, do not have a funeral. Do not have people sitting around crying. Y'all better have a party, because I have lived. I have enjoyed life, and celebrate me. Don't cry because I'm gone, because obviously my job here is done when I'm gone. Celebrate me. And I told her, anybody that's sitting around crying, kick their ass out, because they bringing everybody else down. Have a party. Do not have a funeral. They're like, oh, he's going. No. Don't do that. Have a party. That's what I'm talking about. So yeah. Let's see. Voice, if you see any good questions, let's see. Okay, I see one that's interesting here. See, how can we find the God energy within ourselves? You don't have to find it, D. Brooks. Is there. All you got to do is just connect to it and allow it. It's already there. You don't have to find any of that. Some of this stuff is so natural to us, we don't even realize what's happening. Okay? We don't even realize what it is. So it's just natural. And sometimes our spirit, or I'm sorry, let me say this another way, because this is another thing. Christianity dumbed down spirit and soul so much that it ends up being useless. Spirit and soul spirit is an aspect of the soul. They're not two different entities in this sense. The soul comprises three aspects. Okay. So spirit, which the ancient Egyptians called the Ba. Today, the same term is energy. So spirit and energy is the same thing conceptually. We just have two different names for it. There's the Ka, which is actually the creative aspect within all of us, the ability to create and to form things. Okay. And the Ak, which is the light aspect of us. So the soul is Soul, actually means light because it is a homonym for the Latin word soul, Sol, like solar system. Okay, Sol, Sol, and Soul are homonyms. They both have to do with light. Okay, so yeah. Okay, let's see. What are your thoughts on heaven and hell? Heaven and hell are, again, Christianity teaches things one way, and there are control mechanisms, and even they've backed off on this. If you check out the Catechism, but they will tell you that hell is not a place in the Catechism, even though most churches don't teach that nowadays. But heaven and hell are states of mind, and they are inner states of mind. And the ancient Kemetic teachings were that what we call what is called the underworld in the Egyptian teachings is actually earth. The underworld is earth, and they call it the underworld because from the perspective, the ancient Egyptian teachings all teach the soul as the main character in its mythology and stories. Okay, so the soul, when it descends into the physical, that is a death. That's what the Bible death is talking about. Okay, the cross is when there's four elements, metaphysical and metaphorical elements that need to come together in order to form a human being, or in order for the soul to cross from the metaphysical into the physical. And meta means just above, so it's above the physical or beyond the physical. So to cross from the metaphysical into the physical, there's four elements, and we know those as air, earth, fire, and water. Okay, they're not literal, they're metaphors. Okay, so when the soul dies, and they term that death because the soul loses its omnipotent awareness. So that is a death of sorts. Okay, so hell is actually where you are now, according to the ancients. There's no place of fire and brimstone that you're going to burn in. It doesn't exist. Because think about it. Your soul is not physical. What's going to burn? Voice, I didn't see that question. You can put that back up there. So keep it up there till I can actually see it and read it. Okay. But so if there is a hell, what is it that will burn? You're not in a body anymore. What? So when you analyze it, it doesn't even make sense. Hell is not biblical. The idea of hell is not biblical. Look it up. Do they talk about Hades, and which again is another name for the underworld? That was the Greek name for the underworld. They talk about Sheol, which is the Hebrew name for the underworld, which is earth from the perspective of a soul. And heaven is actually an inner state of being. If you look up in the King James Version, look up Luke chapter 17, verses 20 and 21, and see where that scripture in the Bible says that heaven is. Okay? It says you cannot point to it. You cannot say there it is. Okay? That's what the scripture says. The kingdom of heaven is within. Now, other translations change that because they don't want you to understand that heaven is an aspect of you, an inner aspect of you. So they changed that up. Okay. Question. So Carlo Realist says, can the human spirit be transferred into plant life and animal life? No. That's there are two different types of consciousness, or in the case of plant life and animal life, those are two different types of consciousness, different from human consciousness. So no, that doesn't happen. That's another form of these spiritual systems looking at ways to tell you that you can be punished. There is no punishment. Because as a soul, sometimes you have to play the part in somebody else's story that might be the bad guy. You incarnate to play a part in somebody else's life that might make part of their life really difficult. But that was your part to do. So if you do that, you volunteer to do that. Do you think you'll volunteer if you're gonna be punished and sent to hell? No. All right, thank you, Voice. Got it. Got it. Uh let's see. There's no such thing as a demon except my husband, and he lives in Chicago. Sylvia Brown. Funny. Who are light workers? Linda, just a light worker is somebody that spreads the light. So that could be anybody. So it's just a term for somebody to spread the light. We all as souls, we're all light, and we want to bring the light for everybody, you know? So Greg Scott says, prime the pump. Thank you, Greg Scott. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Okay, $5 there. Appreciate you. All right. And Michael Peaks gave $10 again. So Michael, that's the second time. Thank you, brother. He says, this shit is fire. 100% tonight. Y'all gonna learn tonight. Absolutely. Thank you, Michael Peaks. I appreciate you, brother. Michael Peaks, very generous man. Very generous man. All right. Yes, sir. Unapologetically is the way to be. How does astrology tie into this? Okay, Noah, that's a good question. And we were asking, and actually I went over that a little bit earlier, but I was saying how in the context of the ancient Kemetic teachings of anthropocosmos, that we are the universe and we are the ultimate expression of God. The universe is actually the essence of who we are. So the planets and stars are actually a projection for us and our human essence. They are the individualized aspects of our inner being, our inner essence. So if these planets and stars are connected to our inner essence via vibration, okay, via frequency, then they are actually yeah, go ahead and put that up, Voice. Yeah. There, and Voice does birth chart readings, so she really gets deep into those, and she's really good at it. But these planets are that's how they're actually able to relate to or tell us who we are at different aspects of our life. Okay, the different planets and the stars and where they're placed when we're born. That instance is the reflection of our inner essence at that moment we were born. And it can tell us something about ourselves. It can tell us about our journey. I like to call the Voice's birth chart readings, I like to call them cheat codes. They're cheat codes for life, for your life. So if you want to have a cheat code and know what your journey is, why you might have been dealing with certain difficulties and stuff like that, then a birth chart reading can be very helpful for you. Most definitely. All right. Okay. Let's see. I'm looking. Okay, saw that one. Okay, man, I'm way behind on the questions here and stuff. Let's see. Somebody said try it, celibacy. No, not for me, bro. I enjoy all of that. Although I have been at times, but it was just because if I'm not with someone or dating someone intimately, I don't care to be intimate with somebody that I'm not truly intimate with. Sex just for the sex of sake, or sex just for the sake of sex, is not very satisfying. See, how can I get my birth chart reading? LaBelle Gigi, you will go to vovibes.com. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen right there. So if you want to get a birth chart reading, you go to vovibes.com. So it's just that's scrolling at the bottom of the screen. All right. Okay. Oh man, it's time. Time has flew tonight. Well, I hope that you guys got something out of tonight. So I really implore you to not stay religious, because it makes life not too fun, honestly. Uh, when you are religious, life is hell. You get, I mean, you live in constant anxiety and fear. Why do you want to live that way? And I'll tell you why most Christians live that way is because they're taught that that's how it's supposed to be. There are so many people that live like that every day. They just think it's normal. It's not normal to live in anxiety. It's not normal to live in fear that if you do something wrong or you say something wrong or you even think something wrong, that you can go to hell and be punished for it. Or that you can just be punished in life for it. That's not how it works. Never has. Let's see. Heru, the copper colored God, says, if God can create, why can't we, in terms of does God speak into being, or does a God have to give to receive to manifest things? Why do we have to give to receive as gods? That's a great question. Okay, I answered that last one because the other stuff I really don't grasp what you're trying to. But I think the last question asks what you're trying to say. Um, so I talked in terms of priming the pump, and this also coincides with praying. Okay, that the universe reflects us. All right. So the universe, our life is a reflection of the essence of our being. And if we're in a constant state of lack or feeling lack, then our brokenness or our lack to accumulate any kind of wealth or money or whatever is a symptom of our inner beliefs. Okay. So you're always giving to God all the time. You're always praying all the time. So if you want to signal the universe to bring you abundance, then you prime the pump. And I use that analogy like this. And this is what church tithing was for. It was supposed to be meant to prime the pump. And if you remember the old pumps, Heru, they old well pumps where you had to, pump the water out of the ground. You had to prime them. You had to pour a little bit of water in the suction valve. That was priming the pump so that it could actually start to suck in the water out of the well. So you had to give a little in order to bring a lot up. Well, if you want the universe to signal the universe as to what you want, then you have to prime the pump. You have to give a little. Now, I'm talking in terms of money, but that's in terms of anything. And I go into that into the prayer thing. But you have to give. You have to signal the universe. So when you give, that's your signal to the universe that you want that more of that in return. If it's love that you want, start giving love. Start smiling at people just for no reason. Not that weird ass smile, no. But you walk past somebody, just smile at them, and you can say to yourself, hey, just giving you love, because if you want love in return, you got to be able to signal to the universe that that's what you want. So that's why you have to give to receive. Otherwise, the universe is just going to give you whatever you're programmed with. The universe is just going to send you that because you're always giving something. But you got to know that what you give, that if you're just doing it and giving just from a repetition or your subconscious programming, a lot of times that can be something that's negative, and you get negative back. Okay, so that's why. All right, so great question. Great question. So Miss Coco B gave $9.99. Thank you. Are we ourselves the actual ancestors? Yes. We are our ancestors. We're reincarnated over and over and over. So yes, we're literally bringing forth acknowledgement and reverence to our past lives and work done back, then not to allow it to be forgotten. Thanks so much. Yeah, on some level, yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with you. We are our ancestors. Okay, so being reincarnated, absolutely, positively. That just makes sense. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. And Kia Ham gave $5. Thank you, Kia. Definitely appreciate you. Definitely appreciate you. All of you that have given tonight, thank you so much. All of you that are priming that pump, keep on priming it. It doesn't have to be to me. Prime some, give to somebody, and give it joyfully, and be grateful that you have it to give. That's what you got to prime the pump with. Okay. If I go to a restaurant, I give a good tip. They just give me halfway decent service. I'm going to give them a good tip because I know that they're working for that tip. So that's one of my ways of priming the pump. I give generously to my server. So you don't have to give to me or a preacher or anybody. And please don't call me a preacher because I'm gonna cuss you out. But no, okay, I might not cuss you out to your face, but I might start cussing. But if you don't have to give to a church, okay, that's the thing. So you don't have to give to some ministry or whatever. You can find ways to give to others. If you're spending money at a business, it's a small business. Hey, give to that business. Be grateful that you can give and help that small business and help their family. Okay, so there's many ways to do this. It's not just given to me or given to religious people or anything like that. There's many ways to do that and to practice that. Okay, all right, guys. So I'm gonna tune it out tonight. And we'll see y'all next week. There will not be a clubhouse tomorrow, so I'm going to be heading out of town. But we'll pick that up next week. So I'm doing this on a trial to see how it goes. So the clubhouse thing. So we'll pick it up next week, okay? And next week we'll have a special guest. So we'll have actually Voice is going to come on, and she's going to talk to y'all about some astrology stuff next week. So y'all be ready for that, okay? All right, guys. Y'all have an amazing night. Vince Goddess, thank you very much. Gave $9.99, leaving out the door. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Vince. And Chelsea Lewis gave $1.99. Thank you very much, Chelsea. Definitely appreciate it. So all is good. All is well. So thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, guys. Well, y'all have a wonderful evening, and we'll see y'all next week. Okay?